Dear students, this is another video class that I have prepared for you given the situation that we are passing through. Today, I will introduce you some methods, some ways that we can use to express habits that happen in the present or happened in the past. Let's go. Here we go with the first structure. The first structure of expressing habits is with the presence of will, would, and used to. The verb would, even though it sounds most like past, can also be used with expressing present habits. The modal verb would can be used to express the qualities or the characteristics of something, of a person. I mean the typical qualities of a person in the present. So, for example, Tom would do something like that, wouldn't he? It's so typical of him. So, here we have an example that the modal verb would can be used to express present habits of a certain person. On the other side, again, the modal verb will, even though it sounds like future, can also be used to express present habits. How? So the modal verb will can be used to emphasize, to highlight the characteristics, the qualities of a person, okay, rather than describing the person himself or herself. In this case, a friend will always help you. A stubborn person or stubborn kid won't do as he is told. Okay, so these the verb would and will, even though they sound like future expressions or even past expressions, they can be used to express something a habit in the present. Let's move on to the structure of used to. Okay, I'm sure you have heard expressions with used to, such as I used to sleep a lot in the past. I used to eat chocolates when I was a kid. I used to do this or I used to do that. Okay, yes, you are right on this. The verb, the expression used to, is employed to express habits that were true in the past but are not true any longer or anymore in the present. The expression used to is used with both action verbs and state verbs, which means that it is used with action verbs, verbs that express movements such as walk, work, look, talk, move, open, close, and state verbs such as hate, feel, like, believe, belong, be, okay? So state verbs, if we compare between action and state verbs are all verbs that do not involve movement, but they involve situations or feelings. Let's go to the example. On Sundays, my parents used to take me to dance school, which is a past habit. And the use of used to with the feeling verbs, with the state verbs. I used to hate dancing in those days. I used to hate dancing in those days. Okay, you can provide such examples, millions of such examples. For example, you can also say, I used to be calmer in the past, or I used to feel much better on Sundays days than Monday mornings. So you can express such examples plenty. There are plentiful examples with the modal, the expression used to, expressing past habits. We will treat the verb or the expression used to as all other verbs in the past. So the negative form used to is didn't used to, and the question form did you used to. So did you used to, did he used to, did we used to. So we will treat it as all other verbs. Here we have something else. Let's compare the expression she used to live with the expression she was used to living or she got used to living. What are these expressions and why here I have an infinitive and here I have a gerund? It is very simple. You will see only if the verb to be or the verb to get is accompanying or is together with the expression used to. If I have the presence of the verb to be with used to, what happens next is the infinitive will be turned into an ing form, or as we say it, into a gerund. So you will see, if I have the verb to be, she was used to, she got used to, in all other forms. So you can find examples such as she will be used to living, she has been used to living, okay? So whenever you have the verb to be or the verb to get, you will have to change the infinitive into a gerund. All these expressions express habits depending on which form or which tense is the verb to be. If it is, for example, she will be used to living, it means that the future habit will take place. Okay, or if you say that she was used to living, it is a past habit, with the difference that if she was used to living, the habit is durable, is enduring and more long term. Okay, let's move on. So we have now here the verb would. In the beginning of this video class, we said that would is used for present habits, but yes, the would, as it is expected, is used also with past habits. The difference between used to and the verb would is that the verb would cannot be used with state verbs, only with action verbs. So you can say she used to eat a lot of chocolates when she was a kid. She would eat chocolates when she was a kid. You can say that, but you cannot say, for example, she would hate being called with the nickname, for example. She would hate. No, she would hate, because would cannot be used with state verbs. The reason why would cannot be used with state verbs is that would and the state verb best sounds as a present preference. So you cannot say when she was a girl, she would like pancakes more than she does now, because as it sounds, would like is a present preference, not a past habit. So again, you can say used to. You can use the expression used to with both action and state verbs, while would only with action verbs. Second structure is present continuous for habitual actions. So present continuous, if we refer to the example, Lucy is taking piano lessons these days, this implies that Lucy has as a habit to take piano lessons these days. On the other side, if I have with present continuous, if I have the presence of expressions, adverbials of frequency such as always, constantly, continually, all the time, usually, never, etc., etc., okay? These, for example, the adverbials always with present continuous are used to express an annoyance that is going on, or annoying action that is happening to the speaker. For example, her mother is constantly checking up on her, or why are you continually criticizing me? So even in the intonation of these sentences sounds like something annoying. Fourth structure, past continuous for temporary habitual actions and past continuous for frequently repeated actions in the past. As we mentioned here, present continuous for continuous for habitual actions in the present, and present continuous for frequently repeated actions in the present. The same thing happens also with past, but we just move on or we get back to the past, not to the present. So if you say at that time she was meeting him twice a week, it means that it was habit of her to meet him twice a week. Or on the other side, if you again use the expressions always, constantly, continually, and all the time, it means that an action in the past, a habit in the past, was again annoying to the speaker. So she, for example, she was always teasing me. So the presence of always here makes the sentence sound as it is annoying, like an annoying, let's say, expression or fact, let's say. He was continually interrupting the speaker. I was getting into trouble all the time. So you have such examples, plenty such examples. Okay, the last structure for today is present simple for present habits and states. You know that present simple can also be used for present habits, and the use of expressions such as always, usually, regularly, frequently, often, sometimes, rarely, seldom, etc., etc. The presence of such adverbials make present simple as you know best as a routine. So something that happens all the time. For example, I always go to school on foot. I usually let's say have Sunday. I usually pass my Sundays on a picnic. My family regularly, for example, you can say my family regularly visits their relatives. So the presence of always, usually, regularly, frequently, and other such adverbials express how often something can happen, and because of this, this structure is used to express present habits and states. Okay, hoping that this video has been most helpful for you. I leave you, and I'll see you next time with another grammatical structure for you to introduce. Thank you for watching and listening to me. Bye.